Hello, my fellow Mississippians. My name is Aunjanue Ellis, and I want to talk to you a little bit today about a situation in our beloved home state. As some of you may or may not know, a few weeks ago, I wore a dress to the NAACP Image Awards, and the dress said, "Take it down, Mississippi." I wore that dress in reference to the flag, our state flag of Mississippi. At the time, I knew that legislation was being introduced to or considered to change the flag and remove the Confederate emblem, the flag of the KKK, the battle flag of Northern Virginia, however and whatever you want to call it, to remove those emblems, symbols from our state flag. So I wore that dress to bring attention to that issue in hopes that our state legislature would act and do the right thing. 2 weeks ago, those bills that were written and introduced, all of them died in committee. They were never even allowed to come to the legislative floor for a vote. They all died. They were killed. Days before or days after, forgive me for not knowing the chronology, our governor, Phil Bryant, designated April as Confederate Heritage Month. So, in addition to the bills being killed and that designation of Confederate history, Confederate Heritage Month, we know where the state leadership stands. We know where the state legislature stands. We know where our governor stands on this issue. So we are in a situation now where we have to decide what to do. We have to take action. And for those of us who think that this is unacceptable, that this continues, we have to act. It's that simple. So, what do? The first thing we have to do is know what we're up against. We have to know the arguments that are going to come our way, and we have to be prepared for them, and we have to be clear about what that flag means. So, one of the first things, the most dominant thing that we hear in regard to the flag, regarding the flag, is that the flag and Confederate history and Confederate heritage had nothing to do with slavery. So, in response to that, I will read you a portion of Mississippi's Statement of Secession. Its reason for seceding the Union and becoming a part of the Confederacy. Our position is thoroughly identified with the institution of slavery. That's the first sentence. The greatest material interest of the world. Its labor supplies the product which constitute by far the largest and most important portions of commerce of the earth. These products are peculiar to the climate verging on the tropical regions, and by an imperious law of nature, none but the black race can bear exposure to the tropical sun. These products have become necessities of the world, and a blow to slavery is a blow at commerce and a blow at civilization itself. These are the words of Mississippi's leaders, Mississippi's governing body at the time, when they decided to secede from the Union and become a part of the Confederacy. Our position is thoroughly identified with slavery. Secondly, the proponents of the flag say that we misunderstand, those of us who want to rid the flag of those Confederate emblems, we are confused about our history. And we don't know that the Confederacy and the principles of the Confederacy had nothing to do with the principles of the KKK, and the KKK hijacked the philosophies and the principles of the Confederacy when they stole that flag. So let's disregard their own statement about their reason for wanting to be a part of the Confederacy, that it is thoroughly identified with slavery. Let's give them that. Let's say, okay, it has nothing to do with, they shared nothing in common with the KKK. Let's give them that. The Confederacy, Confederate heritage, has nothing in common with the KKK. The state of Mississippi, however, did. It was the state of Mississippi that denied African Americans the right to vote. It was the state of Mississippi that denied African Americans a right to education. It was the state of Mississippi that denied African Americans the right to marry who they wanted to marry. It was the state of Mississippi that carried out campaigns of terror against its own citizens, engaged in terrorism against its own citizens. The state of Mississippi, Confederate or not, the state of Mississippi did that. At a certain point, not only did the state of Mississippi share values with the KKK, it shared membership. This is a point of fact. I am not speaking from an impersonal historical perspective. This happened to my family. My grandfather allowed freedom riders to come to his church and have meetings in Macomb, Mississippi. And as a result of his allowing freedom riders to have meetings, allowing them to encourage Mississippians to go out and vote, and to fight for their right to vote, they bombed his church. They bombed his church, and they arrested him for bombing his own church, took him to jail in the middle of the night, took him to Jackson, Mississippi, from Macomb, took him to jail in his pajamas for bombing his own church. And it is believed that law enforcement was a part of that bombing. The state of Mississippi did not only share values with the KKK, they shared membership. So, we know where the state of Mississippi stands. The flag at this point endures. So what do we do? What do we do at this juncture, at this moment? What do we do? Earlier in February, we all watched the Super Bowl. And for those of you who were paying attention, and many of you were, the Confederate flag, the flag of the KKK, the battle flag of Northern Virginia, the state flag of Mississippi was flying and waving in the wind. This happens every year because every year, every state of the Union is represented in the pregame show, in the pregame pageant. When they sing America the Beautiful, sing the Star Spangled Banner, the fighter jets fly over, that flag is there. So this is not just a Mississippi problem. This is an American problem. And so now what we have to do is shift the focus of this flag from Mississippi and put it in its proper framework, which is, this is a problem for this country. Now, for those of you who say, well, it's just a flag, doesn't matter. It's just a flag. It's not just a flag. The flag and the endurance of the flag and the concerted effort to ensure that the flag endures is rooted in a system that is articulated in bigotry, an educational system, a political system, a policing system, an economic system that is built on discrimination, that is built on repression, that is built on violence against African Americans. It's built on it. So it is not just about a flag. It is about upending systems, structures that we have in place in Mississippi that have to see their end in order for us as Mississippians to really have a beginning. So, now that we know that this is an American problem and not just a Mississippi problem, what do? Well, myself and other women and men who are joining, who are part of this battle, waging the battle that we are waging against this flag, or I wouldn't say battle. Those are their words. Who are part of an engagement, who are part of an action towards something greater for our state. In the next few weeks, next couple weeks, very, very soon, we are going to start having conversations with partners around this country. Economic partners, civic partners, social partners, corporations, unions. We will span the spectrum, trying to engage people, like-minded folks who want to be a part of this effort. Forgive my phone. Who want to be a part of this effort. One of the things that we will do is we will start at the top. We will be petitioning President Obama to immediately introduce legislation, immediately send a bill to Congress demanding that that flag never be flown on federal property again, outlawing its presence on federal property. President Obama spoke so poignantly last summer about the flag, about Confederate heritage, about Confederate history, so poignantly. But we need more than words. We need action. We cannot ask that Donald Trump disavow the KKK, and we as a nation refuse to. It's hypocrisy. It's a dangerous hypocrisy. So that's where we are. And we hope that in the coming weeks, when you hear about our plans, that you will want to be a part of it, that you will join us in our fervent intention to do the kind of work that we are doing. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your time. And X the X. Here's to a flag for all. Take care. Bye-bye.